ESPN2 Day Game comes to you live today from St. Louis, where the Cardinals are trying to avoid being swept in St. Louis by the Giants for the first time since 1912. It's a day game, but for Barry Bonds, day or night, it doesn't matter. 2 blasts last night. Barry's heating up with the summer. Our own David Justice will help us understand just why Barry Bonds is so amazing. Cardinal rookie Bo Hart, just 13 games into his major league career. He's shown he can do it at the plate, and he's shown he can do it in the field. What does he have in store for us today? And we'll revisit a courageous story of sheer determination, looking back to the 1987 NLCS and a man named Dave Dravecky. It's all ahead, ESPN2 Day Game.
ESPN2's Day Game, brought to you by the new Reebok Scrimmage, official training shoe of Terry Tate, office linebacker, and new Swab for men. Great performance, great price, just for guys.
You know, it is July 4. It is a steamy summer day coming up here, and that may be the coolest spot in the universe. Underneath that parachute. May not be the safest, but it's going to be the coolest. Our day game, the Giants taking on the Cardinals. Let's take a look at the lineup the Giants will use today to try and sweep a 4-game set. It hasn't happened here since 1912, the Giants against the Cardinals. Notice Barry Bonds is not in there. Welcome back, everybody. Gary Thorne along with Dave Justice. David said last night during our game he thinks that Bonds is the best ball player ever, period. Now, you've seen some great players and played pretty well yourself. Why?
Well, first of all, I mean, since 1990, I think Barry has been number 1 or number 2 in the game. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's won a bunch of Gold Gloves. He's 5-time MVP. He's 500-500. That's 500 home runs, 500 stolen bases. No one's ever been 400-400, and he's still going. He's still a great player. He's the most feared hitter. There are many things that make him a great player, which we'll illustrate. But to me, there's nobody more feared than Barry. There's some great guys in this league that get pitched to, but Barry doesn't get pitched to. Here's what makes Barry a great hitter. One thing he does more consistently than anyone in the league is his front shoulder, how he takes it to the pitcher. This keeps his eyes, keeps his whole head in the strike zone. He's able to see the pitches inside. He's able to see this whole box, okay? Now, if Barry were to open that shoulder too soon, it will naturally bring his hips away from the plate, which would then pull his head away. Then the only pitches he'd be able to see would be pitches in that area. Because Barry keeps that shoulder in, and he's got a timing mechanism, when he taps this foot, he'll tap it and gets his hands in position, and then no one goes from point A to point B, as you hear it all the time. What's the quickest way? Is from point A to point B is a straight line, and no one takes the bat head to the ball in a straight line more consistently than Barry Bonds.
And then after he hits it, nobody takes it to the other distance in a faster time either. We saw 2 of those last night. There you go, Bonds, and he's going to be available off the bench for the San Francisco Giants. How'd you like to have that for a bench player? July 4 is coming up tomorrow. A little celebration in St. Louis today. Wade, we'll be right back at you. Our day game from St. Louis in a short sleeve crowd with temperatures that will approach 100 degrees today. And are the players ever happy that they do not have that artificial surface still here? Because they don't have the advantage of Dad pouring water over their heads. They'll be pouring it themselves over their heads for part of this game. This series is proving to be a very successful one in a number of ways for the San Francisco Giants, because the Dodgers have now lost 5 consecutive games, and Arizona, after running off that great streak they had, have lost 2 in a row, which means the Dodgers are now 5.5 out, Arizona 6 games behind, and the Rockies 8.5 behind. So the Giants, having won the first 3 in this series, David, it has really helped their cause in the standings in the West.
Well, they're starting to play more consistently good baseball, basically. And the Dodgers, the whole key for them is their pitching. Because they're hitting, right now you have Brian Jordan's hurt. Sean Green is not having the season that we're accustomed to seeing. So it's so important for their pitching to continue to do well. If their pitching falters at all, then they lose. Yep. And that's been a problem with them.
The Cardinals have struggled with their own pitching, and as a result of losing these 3 games, how about this? You talk about a dead heat. Cubs, Astros, Cardinals, identical records. The Reds only 2.5 games behind in the Central and the National League.
Well, this is the most exciting division right now. The Cubs have some good pitching, but their offense has been kind of shaky lately. Astros, to me, is the better all-around team, and the fact, because the Astros play the best within the division, at this point, I would give them the edge.
We are ready to go. You saw the Cardinals taking the field, trying to avoid this 4-game sweep. And it's been serious for them. And Jason Simontacchi will be the man making the start, a 29-year-old right-hander. And this is an important start for him. Those numbers are not good. 6.57 ERA, despite the fact he's had the 2nd highest run support of any starter in the National League. And David, today the Cardinals are saying this performance may determine whether he stays in the rotation.
Well, and that's understandably so. I think Tony La Russa understands the importance of pitching, and he's trying to figure out how he can get the starting pitching to be more effective. And you're right. I mean, this may be his last opportunity. I mean, we'll see. But it's very important for this Cardinals ball club to get a win today. I mean, just from a mental standpoint of you never want another team to come into your house and sweep you. And that's what they're facing today. So it's so important for Simontacchi to give them a great outing tonight.
Let's take a look at the defense that will be coming up behind Simontacchi for this ball game. There'll be some changes in there. Left-hander Kirk Reeder is going to be pitching on the other side. Scott Rowland, though, a Gold Glover at third base, and he just continues to make some great plays.
Well, he has great hands. He has great footwork over there, and those are the 2 things that you need in the infield to be successful. You put that along with his athletic ability, and that's the reason why he's a Gold Glover.
He'll be out there. These are 2 good defensive teams. They rank 2nd and 3rd in the National League in defense as far as percentages on the field are concerned. 4-time Gold Glover UC, last one in 02. And everybody with the sunglasses on today. Brian Knight's got the plate. It'll be Mark Carlson, Jerry Davis, and Ed Rapuano, the umpiring crew. Great to have you with us here in St. Louis under bright sunny skies. Light breeze blowing from right to left field. We're ready to go. Ray Durham back in the lineup and takes the strike on the outside corner. 91 degrees, the official temperature here at game time, and it'll be going up. That one swung on, and a quick 0-2 count. What a season Ray Durham is having at the plate. He did not play in last night's game, but he is making a case to be on the All-Star team this year with some big-time offensive numbers, despite an injury that's kept him out of the lineup for a few games here with the Giants. Durham waiting, and that one will be looped in the air to left center field. Jimmy Edmonds is over, and the center fielder hauls it in. One away. Keep in mind that the last time the Giants swept a 4-game series from the Cardinals here in St. Louis was in 1912. 1912. That's when Fenway was being built. The Titanic went down. Felipe Alou was not there to see it. But Marty on the Aronoff, our statistician, recited the pitch-by-pitch of that game. It was his first game that he worked as a statistician for. And right now, Tony La Russa does not want to end up becoming part of that history. He just assumed that 4-game sweep stay right there in 1912. JT Snow just coming off the disabled list for today's game. In fact, that hit him. Oh, gee. You get off the DL, and the second pitch, you get in. Mercy. Looks like he is all right. Snow will make his way down. Simontacchi caught him.
Well, they're happy to have him back in the lineup, and they definitely don't want to see him go back on the disabled list. But one thing JT Snow gives them by being back in this lineup is another Gold Glover, former Gold Glover, out there to make this defense even more potent.
He had a groin problem that kept him out and on the DL. Now he's on at first base. Good stop made by Matheny behind the plate. Pedro Feliz is sitting in the number 3 spot today. He has had a 1-for-5 in the series, coming off the bench to work various positions in the field for the Giants. They'll play him straight away, a little shallow in the outfield. Fouls that one back, and a 1-1 count. Gave him a little room up the middle. You see where the second baseman Hart's playing. They moved him over a big hole on the right side between first and second base. He wanted to shoot one through. Hart, the rookie second baseman's moved over towards the bag. 1-1 delivery in the dirt. Matheny's having to work hard here in the first part of this ball game. This is not a day, David, you want to be a catcher.
No, absolutely not.
You're going to lose about what, 10, 15 pounds?
I don't understand why you'd want to be a catcher anyway. You know, I caught one game in Little League, Gary, and that was it for me.
Give me something out there with another kind of glove. High strike call, 2-2. A little rough start here. Simontacchi having trouble finding that strike zone a bit. They'll wait on him. He's prone to give up home runs, 4th most home runs surrendered in the National League, and he's given up 6 home runs in the last 4 games. The Cardinals need an outing from him today. Tony La Russa said, hey, if there's a game we're going to win, it'll probably be against the guy on their staff we're least likely to defeat, who's pitching today. He went down and golfed that one up in the air, and it'll end up in the seats.
Also, this is one of those days where you don't want to have long innings on defense, because this sun will drain you. If you could just take a look at the dugouts, not a lot of guys doing a lot of talking on these kind of hot days. Everybody's trying to conserve their energy because it can get really hot out here. So you don't want a lot of innings out there where you're on defense. You want to get to that dugout and get in that shade as quick as you can.
We were laughing about that. You and I were talking about that before the start of the game. And you said it's days like this where when someone starts to walk up to you to talk, you go,
no, that's okay. We'll talk when we get on the plane on our way to the next city. Just save all the conversations. I don't want to know where you ate last night. Don't tell me anything. Let's get through these 9 innings.
Don't talk to me. Feliz at the plate. Runner at first base, and another looper to Edmonds. And he's got that one. Feliz is retired. A couple of fly ball outs, and there are 2 down. This is a park that is friendly to fly ball pitchers. It's a very fair ballpark. There's very little wind effect in this yard, and the distances are true. 402 to dead center, 330 down each line, and 372. So, David, it's a ballpark that's pretty much a flip of the coin, huh?
Yeah, but this is a beautiful ballpark. I always like playing here. But you're right. There are no jet streams anywhere out there. I mean, but if you hit it good, it's going to go for you. But you won't get any cheap home runs here.
Yep. So a runner at first now with 2 down. And Jose Cruz gets to work in the cleanup spot in this game for the Giants. He's had 3 hits in 11 at-bats so far in the series. Cruz is going to be playing in center field today for the Giants. Simontacchi's delivery to him, and again a block made. Matheny's had to make 3 blocks already here in the first inning, and he can do it. This is one of the game's really good defensive catchers.
And it means so much to that pitching staff to have a catcher, that you feel confident that, hey, I can throw a breaking ball in the dirt knowing that it's not going to go to the backstop. And that's what Matheny gives his pitching staff with his defensive abilities.
Pitch misses inside, and Simontacchi falls behind here, 3-0 on Cruz with Aurelia, the on-deck batter. He has walked 28 in 75 innings, striking out 40. He's not going to strike out a lot of hitters. Opposing sitting 300 against him. Finds the outside corner, 3-1. And it doesn't matter right or left-handed against him. Left-handers 300, right-handers 299. That's about as even as it can get, and he's given up 9 home runs each way. JT Snow on at first base. Little step off. Simontacchi wanted a little weight. There you see the numbers and how they have flip-flopped on him since last year. Fouls that one back. Cruz 3-2.
The thing with Simontacchi is that he's made a lot of pitches in the middle of the strike zone this season, and he's found himself in hitters' counts a lot. So if you're 2-0 and 2-1 and you find yourself having to come with a fastball in those counts and you're not locating your fastball in the corners, then you're making it tough on yourself because guys are ready for it.
That delivery is hit in the air to right field. Not particularly deep. Perez comes over and makes the play. It took 18 pitches, but Simontacchi works his way around it. How come I don't have one of those? Nice fan. Born and raised not far from here, and the Cardinals were the team that he used to cheer for growing up. He's made 22 career starts against the Cardinals and gone 9-3. And some serious numbers against this season. This is a workhorse who's consistently good. Hart will lead it off. Bo Hart 1 for 10 in the series. The rookie who's taken over at second base. First ball hitting. Strike one.
And in order for Kirk to be successful today, he has to do what he always does. Maintain that outside corner. That's his money. Stay out over the plate. Occasionally pitch in just to give him an idea that he will come inside, and then work his breaking ball and his changeup.
That one hit in the air down the right field line, curving towards the seats in foul territory, and that's where it ends up. Nice catch. Bo Hart just came on like the old Blazing Saddles to start his pro career at the age of 26. Gonzaga University, where he played college ball. His coach is here today, and later on during the game we hope to have his coach join us to talk about Bo Hart. And he wants to show he deserves to be here and stay when injuries bring people back. That will be hauled in. Dunham out there makes the play. Hart retired, and there's one away. Take a look at the Giants defensively. Outfield, some changes in it today with Bonds out of the lineup. Infield, JT Snow back coming off the DL, and Torrey Alba gets the start behind the plate today. And their defense, as we said, is strong. Under Alou, they've played a very solid baseball. The second and third best defenses on the field today for these two teams. Jimmy Edmonds batting in the number 2 spot. He has been held down, just 1 hit in 11 at bats. Only .219 against left-handers this year. He has had some success against Kirk Reeder, 5 for 20 with a home run off him lifetime. They put an unusual shift on against Edmonds, the shortstop. Rich Aurelia playing almost on the outfield grass, and they move Alfonso, the third baseman, almost into the shortstop hole. Outside corner strike that Edmonds didn't like. 2-2. On a hot day like this, you got to figure the home plate umpire also is thinking about just how hot is it going to get, and you might want to be swinging.
Yeah, that plate might be a little bit wider than normally.
Here's the 2-2 delivery and a chopper comebacker. Reeder's got it, and Edmonds is out of there. So quickly 2 down, and that'll bring Pujols to the plate. These Cardinals have scored just 3 runs on 19 hits in the first 3 games of this series. And virtually every one of the hitters in the lineup except for Tino Martinez has had only 1 or 2 hits in the series, including Pujols, the league's leading hitter, who's 1 for 12.
Yeah, and this is a team that really relies on this offense to basically cover up the pitching deficiencies that they have. And if their offense isn't doing it, then they're not very successful. And San Francisco has done a great job of making the pitches when they've needed to in this series, you know, to silence these bats.
Pujols is the second best hitter against left-handers in the National League right now. Only Jeff Kent has a higher average against lefties than does Pujols. So maybe. But Reeder, not easy to get to. Foul back into the screen on a 3-ball, 1-strike count now.
And see, Reeder's the type of guy who pitches around the strike zone, and 3-0 right there. He had the go to swing. He got a good pitch to hit, knowing that Reeder would probably come around the middle because he didn't want to walk him. But he fouled it off. But he did get a pitch to hit.
3-1 on him here. You can believe today, David, you'd think Tony La Russa is probably going to do that more often than not, with the club not hitting well, huh?
Well, just trying to generate some type of offense. Play the game aggressive, get the runners moving. They can hit and run here and there. Do something to ignite this offense. I mean, they've had some great hitters that have been silenced in these last 3 games, but they need to get this offense back rolling, because you got the Cubs, who they're about to play this weekend, who everyone knows about their pitching. And if they can't get these bats going, well, they could, you know, arguably go in there and lose 3.
That one fouled off. Torrealba, the catcher. And the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes on Pujols. You see he's had only 1 hit in his last 14 at-bats. Despite that, he's way ahead of Todd Helton for the league in an average. He's hitting .379. Helton's at .338. And he's got the best slugging percentage in the National League. 3-2 count with 2 down and nobody on. Reader's delivery to him is popped up. Very shallow left field. Aurelia, the shortstop, back there with the glasses down, and he's got it. And that is a very typical Kurt Reader inning. 3 infield outs. We completed 1 of our day game. Always dressed in Cardinal red, their fans here in St. Louis, game after game. Here's Rich Aurelia leading it off. And the pitch is taken down low for a ball. Santos, Alfonso will be following for the Giants. Aurelia 0 for 5 in the series, and he's got an 0 for 11 overall going right now. Simontacchi will see that end right there. Base hit right on the button. Pujols up with it. Aurelia's got a leadoff single, second inning. Great to have you with us here. Our day game as the Cardinals and the Giants wrap up this 4-game series. The Giants have dominated, limiting the Cardinals to just a run in each of the first 3 games, winning them 5-1, 5-1, and 4-1, with a chance for a 4-game sweep here. It's the first meeting these teams have had since the playoff season last year. Francisco Santos making the start in right field in this game. Santos, 23-year-old. He's got a runner at first. Takes the pitch inside for a ball.
A young guy getting a chance to play today.
It's hot. You're out there.
Exactly.
Go prove it.
All the old guys are on the bench today.
Barry Bonds sitting and watching, in fact, while the younger guys get to be out there, and they look like they're in high school sometimes with those faces, don't they?
Yeah. Barry, Benito, Marquise, they get to lay in the shade today.
They are preparing for the air show that'll take place here tomorrow. So when we show you some of these shots, it's over the Mississippi down by the arch. That's where you saw, if you were looking earlier, the guy was parachuting. That was taking place down in the park here in the Mississippi by the arch. Inside corner, strike 2-1 to Santos. Santos had his name incorrectly, not just spelled. He had the wrong first name in the press guide. Kept trying to find him. It was like, where is this Francisco Santos? Not listed in the guide. They found out they'd made a mistake and corrected it in March after the guide had already come out. 2-1 deliveries fouled off. See all the scouts down there going, who is this guy? Not listed anywhere.
Came in under the radar. Called himself up.
We thought he might have gotten married and maintained his maiden name, but that's not the case. You're going to get two shows in one today. Our air show continues. The 2-2 delivery. That one outside of third. Roland will take a look at it, and that'll end up in the seats. It's a pretty good show. When we show you those shots, the fans get to see it too, because it's outside of center field, directly outside the ballpark. So there's a great look at it. That's where all those planes are flying out there, leaving the smoke trails behind. They have a big July 4th celebration here. There's a big fair that goes on, is underway this week, and the fireworks, air show tomorrow. That one is a looper to right center field. Edmonds coming over, Edmonds gets there. He's got a chance for 2. Throw back to first base. Tag made. Aurelia, bad base running. May not have known where that ball was. Two down. Lou will not be happy about that.
This is a great play by Edmonds, because what he did here, he deked him. Actually made him think the ball was going to drop in by not attacking it real aggressively, kind of like, not lazily, but kind of like going in there at an easy gate with an easy gate, and basically fooled Aurelia, making him think the ball was going to drop in, then counted at the last second.
8-year veteran Aurelia gets caught as Edmonds gets him.
See, originally he doesn't go all out at this ball, and Aurelia sees that, and then all of a sudden he catches it. I mean, that was a great deep job by Edmonds.
And Edmonds almost couldn't make it. He had trouble, you saw, getting the ball out of his glove there, and he took time to make sure he got a handle on it and made the play to first base, where Martinez put the tag on. That one lined into the gap in right center field. A diving catch, Perez! Perez will make the highlight reel. How about that for some D? Scott Rowland leads it off for the Cardinals. Eduardo Perez making the play to end the inning, so some good D to help out the Cardinals. Now let's see if they can find a way to get some runs. Reeder, outside corner strike call to Scott Rowland, who's 2 for 11 in the series. Reeder has walked only 31 in 100 innings, striking out 27. He is not a strikeout pitcher. Great control. Puts that one a little bit outside. He's often been compared with Tommy Glavine for the way he pitches.
They're very similar. Both of them work the outside part of the plate consistently, probably 90% of the time. But they know the importance of having to throw something on the inside part of the plate just to keep the hitter from leaning out over the plate. You'll see these guys jam guys, and they're only throwing 87 miles an hour because guys have a tendency to start leaning out over the plate. And then next thing you know, here's one underneath the hands, and it jams them.
Here's a 2-2 delivery, rolling towards the shortstop hole's got a base hit. So a leadoff single here in the second inning for the Cardinals. Rowland's on.
This is a great anticipation play, because as soon as the ball's hit off the bat, that's when you're determining whether or not you're going to get in position to dive. Because if you take too long to decide whether or not you're going to attack this ball aggressively, it's too late. The ball will bounce in front of you. This is a great anticipation play by Perez.
Eduardo Perez, his dad is Tony, of course, and he has played positions in the infield, third and first, and now the outfield as well, but a fine defensive play. And he's up here, and the hit and run was on, and he slices that one into the seats. It's an interesting point, David. Never thought about that. We were talking between innings. You're saying on a ball in the outfield like that, you've decided with the balls off the bat what you're going to do with it.
I always said, when you're in the outfield, anticipate the potential plays. Balls in the gaps, balls hit directly over your head, and balls like the one he made. Anticipate it and anticipate what you're going to do if it happens. But the play is made, or the thought process is, as soon as the ball comes off the bat, you already know if you're going to go for it. You know, and that's why you see a lot of pitchers, they love to have aggressive outfielders that will attempt to make diving plays. Sometimes you don't make them and the ball goes to the wall, but you ask any pitching staff, they'd rather see their outfielders be aggressive, because that's those type of plays and that's why the Cardinals are such a great defensive team, because they make those diving plays.
Perfect hit and run, inside out swing. Here's the turn by Rowland. He'll stay. Cutoff man hit by Santos. So the hit and run, and Perez really had a tough pitch that he had a drive between first and second, and he got to it and hit it hard.
Well, once again, they're trying to generate some type of offense. And this is a pitch everyone knows he throws away. This ball is low and away. He does a great job of allowing this ball to travel deep in the strike zone and just serving it in the hole. Durham was covering second. They gave him the hole. He took it. And this is what they're going to try to do, try to find some way of generating offense today to jumpstart this offense, which is potent.
They've got a couple of singles. This is the #1 offense in the National League. The St. Louis Cardinals have that distinction. Reeder now with 2 on and nobody out. And Renteria, who's gone 1 for 8 in the series, takes that pitch down low for a ball. So some offense being generated. This is the trouble they've had, only 2 for 16 with runners in scoring position in this series. So they've not been able to get the key hits to get it started. Last night they had the first 2 runners on in an inning 3 separate times, and yet came away with only 1 run.
And that hasn't been common for this team, because this is a team that's hit great with men in scoring position. I mean, 281 as a team coming into last night. A guy like Renteria is hitting over 300. So what we've seen is San Francisco Giants pitchers just making the right pitches at the right time.
Yep. Renteria trying to undo that. Drives that one to center field. Pretty good. Wood way back, wanting track wall. Goodbye. Home run. 3-run shot. Edgar Renteria.
This is a nice swing. This is exactly what this offense needed. This is exactly what this team needed, to come out here today and put some pressure on this Giants team. They don't want to go down and be swept at their ball club, especially it hasn't happened since 1912. He gets a pitch right out over the middle of the plate. And here's a guy who really handles the ball from the middle of the plate out, as good as anybody in this league.
So a 3-0 lead. This is the first time in this series the Cardinals have had a lead at any point in any game. Reeder, the 1-0 delivery to Martinez. And Reeder does not give up home runs. It's only the 6th home run he has surrendered. All have been hit by right-handers. And a strike on the outside corner to Martinez.
And Reeder's very successful when he can locate his fastball low in the strike zone. That allows him to get more sink. That one he left up in the zone. There was no sink. And Renteria really hit it good.
Comes back and gets the strikeout, first of the game for him against Martinez. And there's one away. So the Cardinals showing more of what has put them in this position of the best offense in the National League in average, in runs, in on-base percentage, and in slugging percentage. #1 in all of those categories for the Cardinals. Maybe today against Reeder, they're going to get back on that track. Here's Mike Matheny, the catcher. Reeder's pitch to him is inside for a ball. This Cardinal offense is something St. Louis doesn't see a lot, because usually they are a team noted for pitching and speed and defense here in St. Louis. Instead, now they've turned it around and doing it with offense.
You're right, Garrett. It seems like they used to always draft the fastest guys in the country, you know, and put them out there in the big outfield and run down balls. They would be a team that would manufacture a lot of runs. But I guess once, you know, they got McGuire, he came over here, and next thing you know, a lot of guys started coming in here that could hit the ball at the ballpark.
They are seeing the best offensive year here for the Cardinals since 1930. The Running Redbirds is more than just a nickname. It's generally what they've been, and Edmonds one of those guys who's added to that power. Reeder's pitch is taken down low. Matheny now ahead on the count. 3 balls and 1 strike. 3 runs in here in the 2nd inning for St. Louis. Reeder, the 5th best home run ratio in the National League for pitchers. That one's a base hit. Matheny will make the turn. Feliz coming over to get it. You got to cut that off or it'll roll around the wall. He does. And it ends up as a double for Matheny. His 13th 2-bagger.
And Matheny worked himself into a fastball count, 3-1. He got a fastball. Once again, he's leaving too many balls over the middle of the plate, and he's being hurt by it. Take a look at this pitch. So 3-1, it's right there. I mean, right over the middle of the plate. They were playing him off the line, and he basically hit it where they weren't.
So he's on with the 4th hit of the ball game for the Cardinals. Still only 1 away here in the 2nd inning. Simontacchi stands in at the plate. See whether or not he's going to bunt here. Didn't show it there. They checked to see if there was a swing. There was not. Mark Carlson down there at first base making the call. Simontacchi at the plate in his career, a 179 hitter. A couple of RBIs career-wise. 1-0 delivery. Fouls that one straight back, and a 1-1 count. Simontacchi has not had a sacrifice this year. A couple of hits and 28 at bats. Cardinal crowd, one of the great franchises in all of sports as far as support's concerned. He does square around here, pulls it back, took it inside. 2-ball, 1 strike count on him.
Gary, you're right. When it comes to fan support, they really get it here in St. Louis. They get it going. Everybody's out here with the red shirts on. This is one of the best places to come in as a visiting player too. Their fans are not that hard on you.
Pitcher to center field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Late start, runner holds. Cruz gets it back in. Third hit of the season. Simontacchi gets one off Reeder. First and third now with one away. Even the Cardinal pitchers are getting into it. Want to remind you some great Wimbledon action will be coming your way tonight, 8 Eastern time. You'll see it on ESPN. The women's semifinal highlights will be coming your way. Hope you'll join in tonight as the Wimbledon championships continue this week, 8 o'clock Eastern time here on ESPN. It probably won't be quite as hot there as it is here. Just a guess. Little discussion now with Torrealba as to how they want to play this with one away. Bo Hart coming to the plate, the leadoff batter. You've got Matheny, who had the double, moving over to third, and the pitcher's the runner at first base. Hart popped out his first time up. And it is a safety squeeze. Kirk Reeder puts the tag on. A run will score. RBI for Hart. They love him here. Matheny was not coming on the pitch. He was waiting to make sure the bunt was down.
And this was a nice push bunt to the first base side. And actually, Reeder made an outstanding play getting to this ball because he bunted it pretty hard. He got off the mound very quickly, was able to get it, and went ahead and tagged him himself. But this is a tougher play than it looks, especially with a guy like Bo Hart, who has pretty good speed going down that first baseline.
So it is a 4-0 lead now. Runner at second base with 2 away. And Jim Edmonds comes to the plate. He's the 8th man to hit for the Cardinals here in the second inning. He grounded out his first time up. A speed delivery is taken inside for a ball.
See, Edmonds gets himself in trouble sometimes against lefties. With the same point that I was making about Bonds earlier, is sometimes he'll take that front left shoulder and he'll cheat a little bit. He'll fly open, and that pulls him away from the plate. So anything away from him, he can't hit.
He has one of the widest stances of any hitter I can think of right now in the majors. He almost covers the entire box, chalk line to chalk line.
Well, he has great plate coverage, and that stance, you know, allows him to have a very solid balance. It's a very solid balance. But the whole key for Edmonds is that front shoulder. If he keeps that front shoulder, then he can hit the ball out over the plate. He keeps it closed, but see, he has a tendency sometimes against lefties to open that shoulder a little bit too soon, which brings his hips, and then his head goes away from the plate, and now he can't handle the ball away from him.
30th pitch of the inning is a strike on the outside corner, and it goes full 3-2 to Jim Edmonds. 4 runs in. Started with Scott Rowland's single. Eduardo Perez on a hit and run single, then Renteria the 3 RBI homer. Matheny's doubled. Simontacchi, the pitcher, got a base hit, and Hart the RBI, and a walk, and Reeder has gone through the lineup. Bases loaded. Albert Pujols. Or first and second, rather, with Pujols coming up with 2 down. So Pujols with a chance, popped out his first time up. Oh, 2 delivery with 2 down. Runner is hit to right field, way back at the wall. Pujols. Goodbye, home run, Albert Pujols.
This Cardinals offense is finally giving this crowd something to cheer about. Everybody's on their feet. They're excited. This is a team that they've been accustomed to seeing swinging the bats like they've been doing all season long. But I think this heat is taking its toll on Reeder out there. He's leaving a lot of balls in the middle of the plate. I mean, this Cardinals team, they know what kind of pitcher Reeder is. They've seen him. He's had a lot of success. But he's pretty much the same pitcher each time out. He's a guy who pitches the ball out over the plate a lot, and he's not locating his fastball. See, this ball is not low in the strike zone. This ball is out over the middle of the plate. And anytime a guy like Kirk Reeder, who's only throwing 85, 87, 88 miles an hour. If they don't have the ball low in the strike zone, then they lose the sink. Anytime he elevates in the strike zone, then it's just a straight fastball, and that's not enough. He doesn't throw hard enough to get by with an 87-mile-an-hour fastball in the middle of the plate.
So just as Tony La Russa predicted before the game, he said if we're going to get this offense going, it'll probably be against the guy who's 9-3 against us in his career. Sure enough, it's 7-0. The Cardinals are on top. The guy who doesn't give up home runs has given up 2 in this inning. Both of them 3-run homers by Renteria and by Albert Pujols. Pujols now has 24 on the season, and he has tied Bonds for 3rd in the National League in home runs. The bullpen quiet. A strike taken, 3-1 to Scott Rowland, who started this out with a single. Cardinals have batted around in the order. Rowland fouls that one back into the screen.
This is a Cardinals team. You just cannot make a lot of mistakes in the strike zone. And he's left a lot of balls up in the middle of the strike zone. He's a guy who has to be on the corners. And he's being hurt because this team can hit. And if you throw a lot of balls in the middle, they'll bang you.
That one will be headed into the seats. Rowland with a full count on him. 2 down, bases empty. And that's a big ouch right there. The ERA was 3.86 coming in. Kirk Reeder's had only 1 win in his last 5 starts. Foul back again. Torrealba coming back, and that'll be in the seats. Souvenirs galore. Reeder in his last outing against Oakland and the one before that against the Dodgers, non-decisioned in both. He lasted only 4 innings in his last start against Oakland. Now Zerbe gets up in the bullpen for the Giants. 3-2 delivery by the left-hander. Rowland's got a no, just missed the bag.
Like I said, this is one of those games you don't want to be out there on the field on defense for too long. And this team has been out there on defense for quite a long time in this inning. And that sun will definitely drain you.
They are heading to San Diego, the Giants are. 3-2 delivery. Towering fly ball way back left field. Scott Rowland. Goodbye home run off the facade of the upper deck.
This is a great swing. I mean, the hits keep coming. And like I say, hitting is contagious sometimes. And all they needed was just a start. And now this offense has come alive.
Boy, did he drive that ball. Fan leaning over almost caught that in the upper deck first row. Down low for a ball to Eduardo Perez, who has already singled in this inning. That's a long shot. 3 home runs in the inning. An 8-0 lead. The 2-0 delivery. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Well, you're getting a look at the offense that Cardinal fans have seen all season long. Rowland with his 16th home run, that solo shot, is the 7th hit of the ball game for St. Louis. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Eduardo Perez takes the pitch down low. He is on with a second walk, and Kirk Reeder just struggling now to try and find a 3rd out here in the 2nd inning.
I mean, at some point, you know, enough is enough. I mean, he's been out there. He's really laboring right now. And, you know, he just doesn't have it today.
Torrealba going out, so is the home plate umpire, Brian Knight, and the Cardinals exploding. The Cardinals are going to keep this most unusual streak alive. That they, in all the wins they have had over the last month now, they have scored 8 or more runs. Every one of them.
And in all the losses, it's been, what, 4 runs or less. So they don't go into games scoring 5, 6, or 7 runs. It's either less than 4, less, or more than 8.
There's an over-under somewhere there.
Yeah.
Edgar Renteria with a 1-0 count. Renteria had a home run in the inning. He got one out of here, good for 3 RBIs. Now he's batting again with a runner at first and 2 down. An amazing inning. So 8 runs, 7 hits, their biggest inning of the year. 3-0 count. Edgar Renteria. And the bullpen knows for the Giants they're going to get some work in today. 3-0 delivery. Just threw that one in for a strike. 3-1. Don't try and figure it out. 3 runs, 3 games for the Cardinals off the Giants. Now 7 runs in an inning. 8 runs rather. Play made, and Durham finally gets it. Renteria's out of there. So Raiders ERA goes from 3.86 to 4.49. 3 home runs. Renteria, Pujols, Roland. Wow.
ESPN Tuesday Game, brought to you by Samuel Adams. Always a good decision.
Like the air show outside, there's an air show going on inside. St. Louis Cardinals pounding out the 8 runs on 7 hits here in their home ballpark near the Arch. And they've got an 8-0 lead over the Giants as we go to the 3rd inning. Big time outing against the left-hander Kirk Reeder. And a long day already for Torrealba, who's doing the catching. Fouls that one off his foot. There'll be a pinch hitter coming up following him, and then Ray Durham at the top of the order for the Giants. The practice is as good as the show. Right over the Mississippi.
Just as long as they keep that show over there, Gary,
We'll be all set, won't we? Torrealba making his 20th start behind the plate. Simontacchi's pitch is outside, 1-2. Kirk Reeder's standing out there in the on-deck circle. Wow. Breaking ball in the dirt. He went after it. No. Tag put on. First base umpire Mark Carlson said he didn't swing. So Kirk Reeder, the pitcher, who I thought would be coming out of there, maybe taking one for the team and try and work 2 or 3 innings in this ball game beyond this, as the pen now that had warm-up action is quiet. 2 ball, 2 strike count. A tapper, comebacker. Simontacchi makes the play. Torrealba's retired. Our day game coming to you from St. Louis. July 4 is almost here, and so is that July 4th weather. Mid-90s. Air show coming up tomorrow. Part of the festivities here in the Mississippi. Those are the planes you're seeing flying all over the place outside the ballpark. And a big 8-run 2nd inning for the Cardinals, who've had 3 home runs, all coming in that 1 inning against this man. Kirk Reeder, the opposing pitcher, stands in, takes it outside for a ball. Reeder obviously will stay in the ball game here and see what he can do. He lines that one to center field. Edmonds started back, makes the catch.
That play is why he's a Gold Glover.
Yeah.
He's a Gold Glover, and he's another guy who plays a shallow outfield for this reason. I mean, anytime a pitcher's up, normally you play more shallow than anyone else, but he plays probably one of the most shallow outfields of anybody in the National League. He, along with Andrew Jones and Marquise Grissom. I mean, you see those guys catch a lot of low line drives because of their positioning.
He got that one for the 2nd out. Jim Edmonds. And also brings, of course, that big bat to the lineup. Ray Durham up at the plate, fouls that one back. Durham flying out his first time up. He is a switch hitter, having a career season right now. 403 right-handed and 283 left-handed.
Yeah, and with Durham, you have a combination of power and speed. He's a guy who can get on base. He can ignite your offense. He can steal a base. I mean, it may not happen today because of this 8-0 lead, but he's a guy that's great to have at the top of your lineup because he not only can he, does he have a good eye, but he has the ability to drive the ball. He can drive some runs in out of that first slot.
A call, 3rd strike. Simontacchi gets his first strikeout of the ball game. And just like that, they're gone, and the Cardinals flying high and home.
ESPN Tuesday Game, brought to you by Samuel Adams. Always a good decision.
As the air show continues inside and outside the ballpark, welcome back to St. Louis. Our day game here on ESPN2. The Cardinals with the big lead, 8-0 over the Giants, trying to avoid the sweep. Bo Hart is part of that. Steve Hurt was his college coach. Gonzaga. Let's get this right.
Gonzaga, Gary.
Gonzaga,
yeah.
Okay. How many years coaching there?
I've been there 27 years.
Wow.
I better get it straight.
Got to get it right, huh? Great to have you with us. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you,
It's got to be a thrill for you to be seeing one of your former players out there working in his rookie season. That one, Bermuda Triangle, base hit. Tino Martinez leads it off with a bloop single that nobody could get to. Close to everybody and not close enough to do anything with it. Bo has just suddenly arrived on the scene here in St. Louis. Tell us a bit about him.
He is, this is how he is, Gary. Dave and I were talking. I mean, this is how he's been everywhere he has been, and it's just this grand stage now where everyone's going to be infected by how he plays. He's fabulous, and he's this way 24/7. I mean, no matter where he is.
Was he the best player on your team at Gonzaga?
He was, yeah, those 2 years, David. He was played shortstop for us. He's got left side arm strength.
Yeah.
But and I think they've played him AAA. They've played him at all three positions, and he's just that's the only way he knows how to play. You know, you've heard those things before, but it is so true with him.
Did you think he'd make it to the major league? Did he have that kind of talent at Gonzaga?
You know, I'll be honest with you. I really felt that he would be a great utility guy, and you know, you never know till you get here, and he got better, so it doesn't surprise me at all. His approach is as good as anyone I've been around in 30 years of playing and seeing this game. I mean, he makes every situation he's around, whether it be in the bus or the plane or the hotel or the dugout, he makes you better.
You see, we've seen those great defensive plays have come from this series. That solid a defensive player with you?
No, without question, Gary. Yeah, he is. You know, that's just him. I mean, he's everywhere, and he's got great hands. He really does. They're very soft. Great ability to play catch. He's got arm strength, and he's got that special mental ability to play every pitch. You know, he didn't take any pitches off, and you know, you think back when we played, you take some pitches off, you take some at bats off. This guy doesn't. So it's really special, and I was hoping, you know, so many kids have great ability, and they don't get the breaks, they don't get the opportunity. It's great that he has gotten the opportunity, and then he just went off, you know. Now everyone's watching him, and that's going to be great for young kids. If they watch Bo Hart play, I'll tell you what, we're going to have a lot better little leaguers running around too.
Well, he's opening up some eyes here around the league, around the game, and within this organization. So we'll see what his future looks like, but he's doing a pretty good job as far as this team.
He's fun to watch, isn't he, Dave?
Yes, he is.
Nathaney at the plate, runner on at first base, fouls that one back. 2-ball, 2-strike count, nobody out here in the third inning of the ball game with the Cardinals on top. Did any moments that stand out in your mind from his college days when you were coaching him?
Well, you know, I'm sitting down here with my wife and my son and his mom, Judith, and she was great all through his college career. And I said, I'm coming up to speak with you guys. And I go, what do you remember? And she says, you know,
Fielder's choice there.
I remember a day at USF, University of San Francisco, when she got a chance to see him play for the first time. And he hit 3 home runs and 2 doubles, and he had about 10 or 11 RBIs. And she says, that's my biggest thrill, except for the other night when she watched this. So
it's got to be a tremendous thrill for his mom to be here to watch him play. I mean, I'm sure for his whole family and for everybody at Gonzaga. You know, is it university or college?
University.
Okay, Gonzaga University.
Did you get the phone call when he found out he was going to come up?
Well, no, I was actually recruiting at a ball game, and my cell phone rang, and I go, who the heck is this? And it was my assistant coach, and and he says, hey, Bo just made his debut, and he went 2 for 3, and I just kind of shook my head, and I go, watch out, baseball world.
And then whoever you were recruiting, you definitely told him that too, huh?
David, I can't even remember who it was now.
Come to the Gonzaga, you could be Bo Hart.
Oh, boy, that's right. You know, this is a tremendous boom for us. You know, anytime you guys make it. We got 3 guys playing right now. Mike Redmond for the Marlins is the Zag, and a little older than Bo, but and then Jason Bay just broke in about a month ago with the Padres, and then hit a home run his first game, and then got hit by a pitch and broke his wrist the next game.
Oh, geez.
So these guys are going to, I think, match it up here in a couple weeks. So
that's good. Simontacchi's got his second hit with that single. He's on first, 2 on, and now there are 2 down. Bo didn't give us time to watch him at the plate as he put that one out to left field for the out, so he's got an RBI 0 for 2 today. Coach, how about you take a look at his swing? Tell us what you see here.
Oh boy, you know, I'm not the hitting coach at our place, but we've been talking all week. You know, it's a good hack. I just think he missed it. Let's see here. Yeah, maybe a little lifty at the end. You know, he's the kind of guy you want to stay level as long as you can and kind of stay through his finish. Looked like he kind of came out of his finish a little bit. David.
Well, no, but remember, Gary, Coach said he doesn't take a pitch off.
No.
So he got a pitch he could hit, and he didn't take it off. He's
not going to wait.
He's not waiting around.
Yeah, he's a treat. I had a great time talking with him the other night, Coach, because he's also a big hockey fan.
Oh, and so am I. And it's a thrill to meet you, Gary.
I was laughing because he said he grew up with the Sharks outside of the Sharks territory, and he used to have season tickets there and watched all the games and everything. Loved hockey.
Well, we were at Jay Buck's last night, and we were talking about you, and so this is great that we get a chance to meet, and he and I are both big hockey fans.
Me too, Coach. This is a thrill for me to be in Gary's
Oh, here we go. See, you shouldn't have done this.
I'm right
now.
there with you, Coach.
You're going to Justice is going.
Did you know he threw a no-hitter?
Oh, I knew it.
Gary threw
I know.
a no-hitter.
That's it. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. You two get the rest of the game.
I believe it.
Get out of here. Of course he believes it. He knows.
Yeah, back when it was
Left-handed.
black and white TVs back then, but yeah, he was good.
See what I got to put up with here, Coach?
I remember black and white TV.
Oh, yeah. So does he, but he doesn't want to admit it. That's all.
We can gang up on him.
That's right.
Hey, let's go to a break.
A 3-ball, 1-strike count here in Jim Edmonds. Edmonds had a walk and has grounded out, 2 on and 2 down. He takes a strike on the outside corner. Steve Hertz, the coach, thank you very much for coming by. What a treat to meet you. Continued great success, and we hope you help your recruiting project.
It really has been thank you. You have. Thank you, David. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, there you go. Coach for Bo Hart. And obviously, when you're a parent or a coach, you spend so much time with a young player like that. It is a real treat to see them going at it at the major leagues. Aurelia, great backhand play, and gets the out. Edmonds is retired. That'll do it. No runs, a couple of hits, and 2 are left on base. The Cardinals looking to avoid the sweep on top. An 8-0 lead. Cardinals on top of the Giants, and that 4-game sweep the Giants are hoping for is going to require a monumental comeback here in this game by San Francisco. Well, 4th of July coming up, of course, tomorrow, and we'll have all kinds of baseball for you on ESPN, ESPN2. Take a look at the schedule. The Mets and the Reds will kick it off on ESPN. That'll be at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Followed Yankees, Red Sox. That'll be on ESPN2 at 4 Eastern. Diamondback Dodgers. That'll be 9 o'clock ESPN2. That's 4th of July baseball. All coming up on ESPN and ESPN2. Gary Thorne with David Justice. Great to have you with you here. It's 8-9-0 for the Cardinals. 0-1-0 for the Giants. Simontacchi not only has given up only 1 hit, he's had a couple of singles himself. July 4 tomorrow. We hope you will make it a very safe and enjoyable July 4 holiday. JT Snow will stand in. Snow has been hit by a pitch. Pedro Feliz, and then Cruz will follow for these Giants, who have won 8 of their last 11 games. The Cardinals jumping on them here for that big second inning. That one will be foul back and no play. Ends up in the seats. Cardinals had not had a lead in any inning of any of the previous 3 games. So they had that 8-run, 7-hit second inning of this ball game. Out in that sun, it'll be 100 degrees or better if you're actually in that sun today. JT Snow waiting, and he rips that one to right field, but an atom ball. Perez hauls it in. Snow retired, one away in the 4th inning. David, we were talking about when the AstroTurf used to be on this field, and you came to play here in the summer, and you had a day game with the sun out.
It would be minimal conversation, and you didn't even have to do too many sprints before the game because the heat alone would get you loose. But it was just terrible. You'd pray for one of those 2-hour games, 1 hour and 38, 1-0. 1-0 game.
Oh, you remember the thermometers they used to put out in the they used to put thermometers out around the field in the carpet, and the temperatures, you used to show them on TV, they'd be 105, 115, 135. I mean, there were some atrocious temperatures, and the carpet, the heat waves would come off it. You could literally see the heat rising as you're doing a hot summer day, going up and down, coming off the field.
Your feet would be so hot.
Did you used to do the ice bucket thing where you put your feet in ice?
No, but I think they used to have a fan. Put a fan down there, and you'd see all the guys just huddled close to that fan. Like your face would be 2 inches from the fan, just laying on it, almost laying on it. See that? See the fan? You'd be just laying on that fan. Just breathing slowly. Counting the innings.
Galarraga moving him way down that side. Here's a 1-2 delivery. That one swung on and missed. Second strikeout picked up. Feliz retired, and there are 2 down.
Well, we talked earlier about Simontacchi. I mean, it's very important for him to have a solid outing today. I mean, they're going in to play the Cubs. This will give them some momentum if the game stays the way it is. I mean, you don't want to say that it's already conceded that they're going to win, but if it stays the way it is, this is the lift that this team needs going into this weekend big series in Chicago.
Yep. Here is Jose Cruz Jr. signing on as a free agent after having played with Toronto. Last year he hit .245. Got a bunch of at-bats, played regularly for the Jays. They did not re-sign him, and picked up by the Giants, making the start in center field in today's game. Flied out his first time up, pitch taken inside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Cruz.
And Cruz is a guy who's still learning. I mean, he has a lot of pop in his bat. For him, it's just a matter of trying to reach some type of consistency. He goes through streaks where he doesn't hit. He's still a young player, but there's still so much upside to Jose Cruz. And being around this veteran ball club and guys like Bonds, you can learn a lot just by watching Bonds on a day-to-day basis. Hopefully it'll rub off on him if he continues to work hard, because I think he can be even better of a hitter and all-around player than he is now.
He's 28 years old. He brought a .251 career major league average in. He played for Seattle briefly and then over to Toronto. Enrique is his brother, played on the College World Champion Rice Owls this year. So the baseball family, the Cruz baseball family, continues to pump some players out at different levels. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Jose Cruz Jr.
I always feel like the sons of major leaguers or former major leaguers always have an advantage over just a regular kid, because their parents or their fathers are teaching them things at 5 years old, that a regular dad has no clue about.
Yeah.
Like I think of Ken Griffey Jr., I think of guys like Moises Alou, I think of guys like Barry Bonds, and even myself having 2 boys.
Yeah.
There's things I'll teach my kids at 5 years old that I know a regular dad has no clue about. They've got from age 5 till 18 to work on things that I didn't learn until I was 18 or 19 years old.
Amazing. And the other thing, David, the chance that they have, you see these players, these kids end up on the field here early on days. They're out there working with their dads, taking ground balls, swinging a bat on a major league field.
So not only are they learning tips from their dad, who knows a lot about the game, but they're around other major leaguers. They may learn infielding tips from your infielders. They may learn, even if they got a good arm, they can learn some pitching tips from the pitchers on your team. Yeah. So you get them acclimated to the big leagues at a very young age, so that once they get here, they're not in awe. See, as a player myself coming into the league, I mean, there is a period of just being in awe of some of these major leaguers, because you're so used to seeing them on SportsCenter. Next thing you know, a guy like Bo Hart gets called to the big leagues, and now he's not watching most sports center anymore. He's seeing them live, you know, and there's sometimes a period of adjustment of moving from that awe factor to, hey, I belong here. I'm supposed to be here. This is where I've been working so hard to play on this level.
And at any level, these kids who move on to play even when they get to high school and college, I mean, here they are doing that, and where have they worked out? At a major league ballpark all their life. So there's not much that's going to faze them about playing youth ball anywhere.
I truly believe, guys, I just take Barry Bonds and Ken Griffey Jr. I know that their fathers taught them things at 5 and 6. First of all, blessed with great genes because their fathers were great players. But now you're blessed with great athletic ability, and now you have a father who's teaching you things at age 5, 6, and 7 that a guy who like myself, didn't learn until I was drafted and got into the minor leagues and was fortunate enough to be around some guys.
That's going to be a base hit down the line as Rowland couldn't quite get it. Cruz coming to third will stop there. It'll be a double. So Aurelia's getting his eye back after coming off the DL. He's had a double and a single now in this game, getting out of an 0 for 11 slump he was in, and the Giants have a 2-out rally going.
This is actually a tough pitch, low and in. He did a great job of just dropping the head of the bat on it and driving it down the left field line.
That will be hit number 2 for the Giants. Aurelia has both of them. The 18th double he's picked up, and now Santos up in an 8-0 game with the Cardinals leading, and an opportunity for the Giants to get on the board. Strike taken by Santos. Francisco Santos at the plate, looking for a 2-out hit. It is still early in this game. We're only in the 4th inning. Runners off second and third, and the breaking ball misses outside. Simontacchi's got to contend with his heat out there with that big lead. He wants to get these innings over with as quickly as he can, stay in this ball game as long as he can. Giants not helping in that cause here this inning.
And you know, he wants to continue to focus on his strike zone. He doesn't want to take a chance on giving up a run here or there, you know, 2 runs here, 2 runs there. Next thing you know, you're back into a ball game. So he still needs to continue to concentrate and focus on that strike zone and making quality pitches.
That's the effort that's being made right here, and the Giants know if they can pluck away a little bit right now early in the ball game, gives them a chance to make a run here. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Francisco Santos waiting, pulled the string on him that time. That'll be the 3rd strikeout Simontacchi's picked up in the game. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 are left on base. We'll be back to take a look at Pujols, who has already delivered home run number 24 today. Our day game from St. Louis, and the Cardinals have the 8-0 lead. Pujols coming up, and a smash already in this one, David.
And if you're a young hitter at home, this is exactly how you do it. His head moves very, very little. His stride is very short. So he's always in the power position. Very short stride. Now you can just throw the hands. Now this is the position that you want. This is balance. This is a power stroke balance. Any kid at home and every major leaguer, that's where you want to set up at. That's what you want your setup and your swing to look like. And he does it very consistently, and he's just still only 23 years old.
It's the shot off Zerbe to short. Aurelia makes the play, and Pujols is retired, 1 away here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. So Kirk Rader is out of there, and Chad Zerbe, who was on the roster to start the season, then went to AAA, recalled, now appearing out of the bullpen. The left-hander, Chad Zerbe, 100th big league game for him. He was recalled from the minors on May 18. Scott Rowland. So for Kirk Rader, the starter of the Giants, 3 innings and a big-time struggle as he gave up a career-high 8 runs. That's the most he's ever given up in a ball game, is 8, and it happened to him in just 1 inning. 8 runs, 7 hits in the 2nd inning for the Cardinals. 3 home runs included, with Pujols getting 1. Scott Rowland had 1, and Edgar Renteria with a home run. Up high by Zerbe to Rowland, 1 and 2. Eduardo Perez waiting on deck. Chopper, glove. Zerbe had to reach back, makes the play, and there are 2 down here in the Cardinal half of the 4th. Cardinals hoping to add to that championship setting they have out there in center field. They've obviously got a shot at their division title this year. 86 pitchers, left-hander Kurt Reeder.
It was just a tough outing for him. I mean, he couldn't get on track, couldn't locate his fastball, up in the zone the whole time, and you just can't do that with this ball club.
This has always been a ballpark where for Reeder he's had all kinds of success. I believe he had lost a ball game, in fact, here. He'd never lost at Busch. He's 5-0 lifetime in this ballpark with an ERA of 2.28. That one hit in the air to right field, and that will take care of it as Zerbe gets the fly ball. Perez retired. 7-pitch inning for Zerbe out of the bullpen. 4 complete here in St. Louis. St. Louis Cardinal faithful have had something to cheer about today. I'm Gary Thorne along with David Justice, our crew on hand here. Big days offensively for this highly offensive St. Louis ball club as they have the 8-0 lead in this game. Simontacchi on the mound, their starter. Chance to pick up his 6th win. It was an 8-run, 7-hit 2nd inning. That explosion by the Cardinals put them on top. Alfonso to short. Renteria. And Edgardo Alfonso's retired. He is 0 for 2. The home runs that all came against Kirk Reeder all came in the 2nd inning. Edgar Renteria had a 3-run shot. Pujols came on with his 24th home run, and Roland got his 16th. I mean, and yeah, my God, that, see Reeder's lips? That hit the upper deck facade. That one by Scott Rowland. That's a pretty good response by the pitcher who gave it up. First ball hitting. Torrealba to center field. Emmons is there. And there are 2 down. Rowland was estimated at 436 feet. And that's up in what used to be Mark McGwire territory. Right off the front of the facade there. A fan leaned over and almost caught the ball. And then it hit off the front and came down.
And Big Mac Land is sending him a bill for knocking a couple screws loose off of the sign.
Here's Chad Zerbe, the pitcher. It's his first at bat. One of, I think, the amazing story that is a non-story in a sense is Mark McGwire. 0-1 delivery. Gone. Disappeared.
And I'm sure he has his reasons.
Yep.
And you know what? And it's his right as well.
Absolutely.
He did so much for the game, for the guys that played with him. I mean, always known throughout baseball as being a great guy. And you know what? When he retired, you know, not a lot of guys could stay around the game. A lot of guys, you know, they try to detach because think about it, they've been doing it their whole lives. It's hard for them to be around the game and not be playing, you know, just to sit and watch. You know, and guys handle retirement differently, and he chose to handle it his way. And maybe, never know, maybe one day he'll be back as part of the game in some capacity. But you know what? That's his right.
He got remarried, moved to California, and Mark was always a very gentle giant, a very quiet man anyway, who liked kind of to keep it that way. Set all those numbers here and brought so many fans to the ballpark like that one. And we wish him well. That is a fair ball. Tag is put on, and that will do it. So like David Justice said, you want to save your energy. Chad Zerbe, the pitcher, decided, why run down there when that ball's right next to him? Tagged him out. 8-0 lead. Cardinals on top. Trying to avoid the 4-game sweep. The Giants winning the first 3. 8-9-0 for St. Louis. 0-2-0 for the Giants. Zerbe stays on the mound for the Giants, and the pitch is inside to Edgar Renteria. Renteria, the home run that came in the 2nd inning, a 3-run shot, and he is also grounded out. Renteria hitting at .334 now, and he'll foul that one off. Renteria having a tremendous offensive season for this ball club. kind of gets overlooked with some of the big numbers that Pujols is putting up. But Renteria is third in the league in average. Pujols, Helton, and then Edgar Renteria, the top three in the National League. Off-speed pitch is taken up high for a ball. He also is fourth in the league in stolen bases.
And he's slowly getting his due now in the game as being one of the best all-around shortstops in the game, not just the National League, but in the game. His name is starting to be mentioned up there, you know, with A-Rod and with Garcia Parra and with Jeter and Miguel Tejada.
Justifiably so with the numbers he's put up. Ozzie, of course, the name you live up to here if you're in Cardinal land when it comes to shortstops. Takes that one to right field. Pretty good juice to the warning track and a fine running catch. Santos back there had it lined up all the way. Just a question of whether or not he'd run out of room. Good play at the 372 mark.
And this was a great swing by Renteria, but Santos got a great jump on this ball and went really hard. He's got nice speed out there, and you start feeling that fence at some point, you know. And this is a nice play over the shoulder. It's not as easy as he made it look, actually.
Good play. That one is taken outside for a ball. Tino Martinez up there. Martinez hitting at 287 on the year. He's gone 6 for 12 so far in the series. Santos has recorded the last 2 outs against the Cardinals in right field with his play. Perez has done an outstanding job on the other side of it for the Cardinals in right. Defensively, that's been a busy spot today. That one towards second base. That little shift on took a hop. Ray Durham able to make the play. Martinez is retired. Wimbledon action will be continuing tonight. ESPN will have it. Justine O'Hara-Dean will be on against Kim Clijsters. Hope you'll be watching tonight. Serena will be in action against Justine, and then you'll see Venus Williams against Kim. Those actions coming up tonight on ESPN from Wimbledon. Will it be another Williams sisters final? Find out tonight. Pretty good chance of that. Mike Matheny takes it for a strike. Matheny has hit into a double and a fielder's choice.
Do you think the Williams sisters hang out the night before they play each other? In all your experience in life, Gary, I'm just asking you that question. I know it's not baseball related, but since we're in an 8-0 game.
Let me just turn this way and just kind of ignore that. How would I know?
I mean, a man,
you're the great athlete. I don't know.
You know, who's seen,
did you hang out with the opposing pitcher the night before a game?
Depends if I played with him.
Final in a World Series. That's going to be a base hit into the corner. Matheny's on. He will hold to a single, so a 2-for-3 day. Let's see, Game 7 World Series. David Justice playing in it, and I suppose he and the opposing pitcher would go out and have a couple of beers.
Yeah, but if the opposing pitcher was my brother,
yeah,
you know, that
would you spend time with him?
Yes, I would.
Would you?
And I would make sure he stayed up very late.
Very late.
You know, and that's all. You know.
Well, we'll have that question asked at Wimbledon tonight. Okay. We'll say it came from you. We'll ask the Williams sisters whether or not, if they're in the finals, they would actually spend the previous night socially together.
Well, get back with me on that one.
We'll get back to you on a lot of things here as soon as we go to commercial. Inning is over. No run ahead, a base runner left. David Justice retired.
ESPN Tuesday Game, brought to you by Chevron Texaco, a global energy leader.
Got to get your work in no matter what. Cal Eldred, huh?
Well, that's a veteran move right there. Got the fan on him, going at an easy pace, just in case his name is called. That's a veteran move right there. See, a rookie cameraman would never do that.
That's right. That's the king of the Arabic right there. Look at that fan. Oh, mercy. How come we don't get to have something like that up here in the booth? Steve Lowe stole our fan. That's why.
And speaking of booth, we're in a phone booth doing this game, if you haven't seen the amenities around here. But we appreciate everyone joining us here at
Good, you get yourself out of this. Go ahead, keep going.
Oh,
You're on your own now.
I forgot your play-by-play. I apologize.
No, you keep going.
It's 8-0. Okay.
You saying we didn't pay enough money for the rights to get a bigger booth? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, somehow I always get the smallest booth in the stadium. And I don't know if it's me being a rookie or if it's ESPN, but I want to get to the bottom of this. Right now, it's 8-0. I want to get to the bottom of it now, Gary.
I love it. All right, Ray Durham's going to lead it off. Durham, Snow, and Pedro Feliz are due up. Simontacchi walked, 3 strikeouts. He's given up only 2 hits in the ball game. Both have been to Rich Aurilia, double and a single. So the tables turned in this series on the Giants today. Had been doing all the offensive work in the first 3. Durham has flied out and been called out on strikes. Hit hard and fair into the right field corner. Eduardo Perez coming over to get it. Durham on his way to second base, where he'll have the stand-up double to lead off inning number 6. So the Giants get their 3rd hit of the ball game. And that'll be the 18th two-bagger for Ray Durham. Continues to hit the ball hard.
Well, this is a nice swing. And in games like this, when it's 8-0, there's sometimes a tendency to get relaxed a little bit and not take each at bat, so seriously. I mean, it does happen, believe it or not. And Ray Durham isn't doing that. He's still focusing on his at bats, making them quality at bats, and that was a nice swing.
Ted Williams used to say, you get into these kind of ball games when you're either down big time. Those are the times, he says. I mean, he never gave up an at bat anyway, but he said that's the time you can really jump on some pitchers.
Hey, Gary, I'm gonna tell you right now, there's never been a player who hasn't given up an at bat.
Yep.
It's too hard to play this game and go to that plate 600, 700 times and not give up an at bat. No one's that mentally focused. But that's the mental part of this game, is to limit the amount of at bats you give up. And in games like this, I guarantee you have guys right now that are thinking the same thing. Okay, it's 8-0. I don't want to give up any at bats. That's my challenge right now, is to focus on quality at bats as if this game is 1-1. Because it's easy. Just like guys, you look at all your best hitters, guys like Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn may have given up at bats here and there, but not a lot. Guys that lead the league in hitting, they don't give up a lot of bats. And you hear it being said about Bonds. You hear it said about Pujols, actually, that they don't like to give up at bats. Jason Simontacchi is another guy who is known for taking every at bat. If he has 2 hits, he wants 3, he wants 4. Not a lot of guys can keep that mental focus.
Yep. Very tough, and they're the ones who will come away with the big numbers. And you get into a mental frame of mind where you do that not just day in, day out, but season after season. Suddenly becomes part of your natural instincts towards the game.
Exactly. Because see, if you're 2 for 4, that's considered a great day. But if you're 2 for 2, you got a chance to go 4 for 4. Some guys may not focus as much on those last 2 at bats.
That one in the gap to right center field is going to fall in. The Giants are going to get on the board. Ray Durham will come around and score. Down there with the RBI double is J.T. Snow, coming off the DL today. So credit Snow with the RBI.
See, conversely, we're talking about from a hitting standpoint, but from a pitching standpoint as well. This is a nice swing out over the plate, up. This ball didn't have much sink on it. But Simontacchi's battle here is to continue to maintain his focus, continue to concentrate on making quality pitches. He knows he has this big lead, and that's his mental battle that he's facing right now.
14 doubles on the season now for Snow, and his 31st run batted in. He's on at second base. 4 hits in the game for the Giants, 2 in this inning. Still nobody out, and Pedro Feliz comes to the plate. Simontacchi's pitch is outside for a ball. Simontacchi looking to get his 6th win of the year, and he has been struggling. Working here in the 6th inning. He's been struggling overall in the season. Not here in this game because he's had that big 8-run lead to work with. Now it's 8-1. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. This may well keep him in the starting rotation. The effort here today. They've got what a matchup they've got coming against the Chicago Cubs, the Cardinals, who will be playing there next. 1-1 delivery. Reached for and fouled off. Brett Tomko's got Kerry Woods in the first game, Matt Morris and Sean Estes in the second game, and Woody Williams of the Cardinals and Mark Pryor in game 3. So the Cubs all-day games in Chicago. Some pretty good pitching matchups in that series.
See, they're going against 2 of the best pitchers in the Cubs rotation. That's why it was so important for them to get this offense started today going into that series with some type of momentum.
They've got 8 runs on 10 hits. The Cardinals do today. Foul back and a 1-ball 2-strike count. It also is vital because starting today's play, the Cubs, Astros, and Cardinals have identical records, tied for first place. And that is the division that in all likelihood, if you're going to go to the postseason, you've got to win. The wild card is not going to come out of the central of either league.
You're right. The way it stands right now, the wild card will not come out of this division. And if you look at the scheduling, when they go down the wire, St. Louis, last 3 games will be against Arizona. Whereas the Cubs, I believe the last 3 games for them is against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh more than likely won't be in it, which means they may play just their kids, their September call-ups. Arizona looks to be in it.
He did go around on that, tag put on, and Felice is struck out. The wild card generally doesn't get talked about till later, but let me assure you there are teams who are well aware of what the wild card's about. Right now in the National League, the Phillies out of the East are in the wild card lead over the Dodgers and Expos, Diamondbacks, and then the Astros and Cubs down there 4 games out.
You see, and in this, you don't see Pittsburgh at all. And that's my point. Not to try to take anything away from Pittsburgh's ball club. I know they're working hard. But the fact is when you talk about if this stays the way it is, which I think it will, the second half is going to be a great race. You're talking about getting down to the last 3 games of the season may make the difference. And if you have St. Louis playing Arizona, and Arizona has something to play for, possibly facing Johnson and Schilling, as opposed to the Cubs maybe having to face, whoever September call-up with Pittsburgh, the scheduling definitely favors St. Louis if you're talking about St. Louis and the Cubs.
On the delivery, that one is going to be taken inside. Jose Cruz at the plate, runner at second, and a 1-ball 1-strike count with 1 down. Always fun just to kind of look ahead and see what it looks like. Teams know in the back of their mind, especially managers, are always looking at the schedule, who's doing what positioning the other teams are in. There's nothing they can do about that, but it's just a human instinct thing to kind of look ahead, think about what might be.
But as well as a baseball fan,
yeah,
looking and seeing that there are going to be some races in the second half of this season. It's going to be exciting for just the baseball fan.
September is going to have some tremendous baseball games. I really believe that in both the American and National Leagues for those playoff spots. We're going to see some tremendous concluding games, and that's why the division opponents play each other late in the year, because they're games that matter. Cruz with a 2-1 delivery, a towering fly ball to right field. He got under that one. Way back at the wall, Perez, and runs out of room. Goodbye home run, a 2-run homer. Jose Cruz. And the Giants come alive here in the 6th inning.
And Cruz has been hitting well of late. I mean, he's been really working hard in the cage. Like I said, this guy has unlimited potential. For him, it's just a matter of being more consistent. But he has a lot of sock in his bat. He has a great arm, great outfield instincts. I mean, he has great speed. He has a lot of tools. For him, it's consistency. That's why I say the upside for him is just, the sky's the limit for Jose Cruz, in my book.
He gets his 14th home run of the year. RBIs 36 and 37, and now you get a little worried if you're in the Cardinal dugout. It's an 8-3 ball game. Simontacchi looking as though that heat may be getting to him. Lance Painter's up in the bullpen for the Cardinals. The left-hander just got up. Dave Duncan went out to talk to his starter. And the Giants making a game of it. Only 1 down here in the 6th inning and 3 runs in. And you saw the bullpen phone immediately picked up after that homer. So Cruz, 2 RBIs on that one. Now Rich Aurelia coming into the inning, and the only hits the Giants had picked up to Renteria. Retired, and Aurelia's 2 for 3 on the day. 2 down. Simontacchi, as we said, will give up the dingers. 19 home runs surrendered this season, 4th highest in the league coming into today's game. Cardinal fans quiet down just a little bit, and Santos comes to the plate with 2 down and nobody on. He has hit into a double play and has struck out. Pitch is outside to him for a ball. Wild swing and a breaking ball down and in. Simontacchi trying to get one of those quality starts under his belt here. If he could get through 6 innings, giving up 3 or fewer runs. Never quite sure how to approach that quality start. It's an unofficial stat, I guess, but it's commonly used. I mean, I guess 6 innings, giving up 3 or fewer runs it's a good effort, but
well, it's a quality start if your team has 8.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, good point. 1-2 delivery. You expressed my mindset on that perfectly.
But you know, if you look at the St. Louis pitching staff and you look at this division, I mean, what they're trying to do is trying to shore up this pitching staff because they know the race is going to be in August and September.
They get him right there, so he's got that quality start. 3 runs in on the inning. Giants on the board, and it is now an 8-3 ball game. When we come back, a look back. Dave Dravecky, the name, the series in '87. Giants Cards. An 8-3 lead for the Cardinals. These teams have been playing baseball since the turn of the century against one another. One of those games featured Dave Dravecky. Game 2 of the '87 National League Championship Series. Dravecky would come away with a complete game win in Game 2 of that series. The next season, Dave Dravecky would come back and pitch again, but the cancer that would affect his arm, end his career, caught up with him. But for that day, the year prior to that injury, Dave Dravecky was a winner. And these two ball clubs have just played a lot of baseball. Literally turn of the century, modern times. The Cardinals and Giants have gone against one another. That one down to third. That's going to be by. Bo Hart makes the big turn. Ball dying on that outfield grass, and he's got a stand-up double. Steve Ertz, his college coach.
Just like I taught you, Bo. This is very exciting for his family to be here and his college coach to be here. This is a fastball right there. He hits it down the line. And he's just watching the play.
His 14th major league game. He's hit successfully now in 11 of the first 14. He's got an RBI in the game as well. He gets the double, and Jim Edmonds is up. Edmonds is 0 for 2 and a walk in the ball game. Working against Chad Zerbe, who came on for Kirk Reeder, the starter. Zerbe came on in the 4th inning and has been effective, giving up only a couple of hits in that time. Edmonds up here, 11 hits on the board now for the Cardinals. And that one's going to go into the seats, foul ball. Our day game from a steamy St. Louis on the day before the 4th. For David Justice, I'm Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us here, and a big offensive day for the Cardinals. Renteria, Pujols, and Rowland have all had home runs in the ball game, as the Cardinals got 8 runs on 7 hits in 1 inning, the 2nd inning. It's the only inning they have scored in, and have the 8-3 lead in the game, trying to avoid the 4-game sweep the Giants hope to put on them, having won all 3 of the initial games in the series. Hard out there at second base. 0-2 count. Edmonds loves to drive the ball the other way. Takes that one and puts it into right center field. Hart will make the turn. Cruz makes the throw. Runner held. Cutoff man hit. Back to the bag. Edmonds. Fans actually booing a little because they wanted to see Hart make the charge to the plate. Jose Oquendo would rather protect his player. 1st and 3rd. A lot of great baseball action to celebrate the 4th. We hope you'll join us as the Mets and Reds will kick it off on ESPN at 1 o'clock tomorrow. On ESPN2, the great Sox-Yankees rivalry continues at 4 Eastern. The Diamondbacks and Dodgers on ESPN2 tomorrow night. It's all coming up. Major League Baseball on the 4th on ESPN and ESPN2. First first and third. Nobody out. Dozen hits on the board for the Cardinals. And Albert Pujols, a 3-run homer as part of that second inning. A 1-for-3 day, batting .379, the league's leading hitter, and he takes a strike.
Remember, first pitch changeup that was on the outer part of the outside of the other black. And Albert didn't like it.
You could tell. And he lines that one to left field. Another atom ball. Feliz has it. Hart will tag and score. It'll be a sac fly. Pujols gets the RBI.
Everything Pujols hits is hard. Even his outs are hard. But at least he got him an RBI on that one, because that ball was literally smoked.
So a 4 RBI day now for Albert Pujols. And the Cardinals take a 9-3 lead in the ballgame. Pujols has now passed Preston Wilson of Colorado for the RBI lead in the National League. Wilson's got 73. Pujols now has 76. So he's now the RBI leader, as well as being the league's leading hitter. And he is tied with Bonds for third in home runs. The Triple Crown discussion that goes on about Pujols. By the way, that game tomorrow, the 1 o'clock game, Mets and Reds, kicking off our July 4th baseball day, is available in high definition HD TV tomorrow. Scott Rowland, 2-0 delivery to him. Onside for a ball. Rowland has his 16th home run today and a 2-for-3 ball game. He's batting .292. Runner at first base and 1 out. First run picked up off the left-hander Zerbe today. 3 ball, 1 strike count. That one taken by Rowland. Cardinals are looking to get out of a 3-game losing streak here today. 3-1 delivery, foul back, full count. Edmonds being held at first base. 3-2 delivery, set in the air to left. Feliz started back, now a long run in, and he gets there. Puts it away. 2 down. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Don't forget that MLB.com has the widest selection of items for the teams you love. Shop MLB.com, the official site. Wear your heart on your sleeve, caps, pullovers, and lots more at MLB.com. And they love their Cardinals here in the sea of red. Eduardo Perez. Runner at first base, 2 away. Change up misses way up high. Perez has had a single, a walk, and has flied out. And has made a couple of fine plays out in right field. Left-hander Zerbe is taking an extra breath out there here in the 6th inning. Runner off first base, and the pitch outside again, and the count goes to 2-0. Torrealba comes out and just says, all right, take your time, settle it down. Chad Zerbe may be getting a little low in the tank as well, coming out of that pen. Two-0 count. Torrealba behind the plate, settles back in. The 2-0 delivery to him, a grounder towards that hole. They were playing him the other way. So Perez on with a base hit. That'll be the 2nd hit he's had in the ball game, and a 3-hit inning here for the Cardinals. 2 on and 2 down. they think it's a long day, they ought to be Torrealba. Torrealba doing an imitation of Carlton Fisk there, had the mask up atop his helmets, just stood up to get a little rest. 122 pitches he has taken behind the plate. 2 down, pitches way outside for a ball, and Edgar Renteria up. Torrealba's going out to say, look, this has been a really long day. I'm really tired. Well, I've already lost 15 pounds. Right. The least you can do is throw some strikes, huh?
Right. I mean, this is a rest break right here for Torrealba, as well as just letting Zerby know that you know, his changeup is missing up and away. So maybe he saw something in his delivery. Maybe he's flying open, and he's going out there to let him know. But that's the toughest position on the field right now, is that catcher for San Francisco.
Benito Santiago, meanwhile, enjoys the relative comfort and shade of the dugout for the Giants. Edgar Renteria popped in the air to shallow center field. Cruz is there to put it away. Renteria is retired. A run in. 3 hits. 2 are left on base. Cardinals lead it by 6. St. Louis Cardinals have the 9-3 lead in this ball game as we head into the 7th inning. Changes made for the Cardinals. Kerry Robinson moves into left field. Pujols, who had been there, goes over to first base. So Tino Martinez comes out of the ball game. Simontacchi's been on the mound for all of it for the Cardinals. Has given up just the 3 runs, 5 hits, walking 1, striking out 4. He has pitched a complete game this season, 9 innings against Houston, and a 3-1 win, his longest outing of the year. Simontacchi with a chance to be the winner in this one, while Kurt Reeder got blasted today. 8 runs, 9 hits, and 3 innings off the Giants starter, including 3 home runs, all coming in that 1 inning. Alfonso, a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Breaking ball to Edgardo Alfonso is inside. He's 0 for 2 today. Giants had hoped Edgardo Alfonso was going to have a big offensive year. He had a good year for the Mets last season. Not yet for them. He does rank 2nd in the league in difficulty to strike out, but offensively just 226 his average. A big difference from last year. And rips that one foul. Just missed down the other line. Kids looking for the souvenirs. Got to be in the right place, right time. Look what I got, oh man. 3-2 delivery. Alfonso up the middle, and he's got a base hit. So a leadoff single here in the 7th inning. Defensively, the day the Cardinals earlier in the ball game really helped out.
Well, Edmonds here on his double play, and then Eduardo Perez, making this great diving catch. These are things that were great plays when they were made, because what they do is they keep the other team from getting any type of momentum going. You know, it just stops it right there with a great play. And then it excites your own defense and your own ball club. Because as a player, you love to see your teammates, make great plays. You can't wait to give them a high five, when they get into the dugout, whenever they make a great play. So it kind of energizes your own ball club, when you see a great play made.
And they did that today. Good work in the outfield. Torrealba, the catcher, 0-1 count on him. Nobody out, runner on at first base. Have you read Moneyball yet? The Billy Bean?
No, I haven't.
I just finished that. I was really fascinated by the book. I urge baseball fans to read it, whether you agree with it or not, or whatever, but it's interesting. That's a base hit down the line. Torrealba into the corner. Edgardo Alfonso on his way to third. Robinson up with it. They'll hold the runners, and it will be a stand-up double. Torrealba's on with his first hit of the ball game. Moneyball's about Billy Bean and the Oakland A's, but moreover, it's about what clubs that don't have a lot of money to spend on players can do to try and remain competitive, and the philosophy Billy Beane's put forward and things he looks for in judging players and in his organization. And it's about, I mean, it's not that they're new numbers like slugging percentage, on base percentage, but really diminishes playing the small little game over the course of time. He says baseball stats have shown that what you want are, you want sluggers, you want on base percentage, and the reason I thought of it is defensively you don't want to extend games by giving the opponents an extra out. That kills you.
You're right. I mean, 27 outs to a game, that's all you want to give your opponent. And that's why it starts with your pitching, but you have to have a solid defense. I mean, defense plays a huge part in the success of a ball club. And you look at what Oakland has done and what Billy Beane and his staff has done out there. I mean, it's amazing for a team because, you know, they only average probably 10,000 fans.
And they're successful with limited money, but with some interesting objectives. And a fine hand for Simontacchi. He's got a chance to win this ball game. He leaves and held his club in it. Lance Painter will come on in relief, but a good effort. There is Painter on the mound to try and finish this one off. Simontacchi just ran out of gas here in the 7th inning as he gave up a couple of hits, so he will go 6+ on the game. 7 hits off him. Walked 1, struck out 4, and he's responsible for the base runners at 2nd and 3rd. Neifi Perez, the pinch hitter. First pitch down the left field line. Robinson over, won't get it. That will score Alfonso. Torrealba coming to the plate. He will score 2 runs in on the RBI single by the pinch hitter Neifi Perez. And folks, this is a 9-5 game. This ball game is not over. Nobody knows that better than La Russa, who paces.
Well, he didn't hit this ball that great, all right, but he has pretty good speed over there. I mean, he came up throwing, but it was actually a good read, you know, by Santos at second base. I mean, or Torrealba, you know, to run on this and score. But this is becoming a game now.
Yeah. That one swung on and missed. Ray Durham, who's the switch hitter in the leadoff spot, up now 9-5. That's a big clutch pinch hit. There's still nobody out here in the 7th inning. Durham had a double his last time up and scored. He's 1 for 3 in the game, batting .318 on the year. And the 2 managers checking the lineup cards and their bullpen availabilities. That one is taken inside for a ball. And Barry Bonds, who may have been on his way to the charter plane, may be turning around, making his way back to the ballpark. He did not start today, and it looked as though it would be one of those games where he would not play. But hang in there. 1-1 delivery. That one is grounded outside a 3rd foul. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
And the Giants have the top of their order up. So, I mean, if they mount any type of force right here, we're back in the ball game, Gary.
Right back in the ball game. Was an 8-0 lead after that 2nd inning. 8 runs, 7 hits. Andres Galarraga's come out in the on-deck circle to pinch hit for Snow against the left-hander Painter. 1-2 delivery is lashed foul. And a 1 ball, 2 strike count on Ray Durham. Durham could make this interesting if he can get on. Anytime you start getting close to bringing that potential winning run to the plate, you are right back in it. Simontacchi charged with the 5 runs on 7 hits over 6+ innings. Timeout taken at the plate. Ray Durham did not want to hold that bat up any longer. Lance Painter just naturalized as a U.S. citizen in '94. He was born in England, came over here and went to high school in Wisconsin and then the University of Wisconsin for college. 1-2 delivery. And the count goes to 2-2. Producer thinks he's going to be watching Wimbledon because he was born in England. What do you think? Can you, with your vast experience in life and baseball and sports, do you think somebody born in England would probably be watching Wimbledon, even though he's playing baseball in the U.S.?
Well, you're right with my vast experience, and I would probably say that I'll ask Serena and Venus if they'll be watching.
That's right. Well, they're trying to get a hold of you right now to discuss the issue you raised earlier.
If whether or not,
when they're in the finals, they would be socializing the night before. Together.
I mean, it could possibly happen.
Could.
I mean, they're in the same family, sisters, close.
Women's semifinals will be coming up tonight on ESPN. The Williams sisters, both involved tonight, and if they win, they will be the two in the finals. And unlike David Justice, my guess is they will be dining separately the night before the finals.
See, it's always family first, Gary. I've been trying to teach you that. Well
put. I'm proud of you. Andres Galarraga coming up as the pinch hitter. Family first, win second. I'm going to tell Bobby Cox that when next time I see him. Galarraga, big cut. Screwball right there. Effect anyway, as that one turned over down and away by the left-hander to Galarraga. You see the numbers. Their pinch hitting is #1 in the National League. Nathan Perez adding to that in this inning with his base hit and 2 RBIs. Galarraga here with a 1-ball-1-strike count. Runner on at first base and 1 down. Pinch hitting for JT Snow. Galarraga takes that one away. Galarraga's .333 off left-handers this year. And career numbers show 3 pinch hit home runs.
And Galarraga's another guy. His whole career has always had the ability to drive the ball everywhere. He loves the ball out over the plate. Those balls he really drives the other way and deep.
Runner off first on the 2-1 delivery. Galarraga takes it down low, and the count goes to 3-1. So it gets real interesting. How about this? Eldred's in the bullpen. He was riding the bike earlier.
With the fan in his face.
With a fan in his face.
See, he knew possibly this moment may happen. See, that's a veteran move.
Andres Galarraga waiting, fouls it back, 3-2. Both of these pens now will remain active. Christensen up in the bullpen for the Giants. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. That bike's getting a lot of work on each side of the diamond today. Galarraga rolling. 1. There's that D again. Scott Rowland, the Gold Glover down there, starts it. That ends the inning. A couple of runs on 3 hits. 7th inning stretch time, and God Bless America will be performed on this day before the 4th.
And Tuesday game brought to you by Union Pacific, building America.
Ball game that looked like it was out of control is still within reach as the Giants have battled back here to make it a 9-5 ball game. The Cardinals may want to add a couple. Nathan Perez will stay in the ball game. He's going to play at second base, and Andres Galarraga, who came as a pinch hitter, will stay in at first base. And Jason Christensen is going to come out of the bullpen and work here. Chad Zerbe gave up 1 run over the 4 innings that he worked. And we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. And that one is fouled back. Well, the Cardinals with Kerry Robinson getting his first at bat. Try and put some runs up here, or at least another 1. In the bottom half of the 7th inning. Christensen, the left-hander, delivers, and Robinson takes the pitch inside for a ball. Christensen had been on the DL. Came back on June 3. Elbow ligament problems for the left-hander. Robinson swings through that one. So he gets back in action and could be a very important part of this bullpen on the left side for the Giants here in the second half of the season.
And he will definitely help this bullpen. He's a guy who can throw it into the 90s. He has a good sharp slider that he likes to throw against lefties. Very little break on it, but it's a very effective pitch for him. And sometimes he'll throw that little two-seamer in off the plate against lefties just to keep him honest. But he will definitely help this bullpen if he can remain healthy, you know, coming back from that surgery that he had.
Tommy John surgery required. 2-2 delivery to Robinson. He swings and misses. So Christensen gets the shutout, gets the strikeout rather, and there's one away here. You'd like to have a shutout. One down in the bottom half of the seventh inning.
And this is the pitch I'm talking about. This is a little slider that goes away from him, and it's a very tight slider. Not much movement. It's not a big break, but it's very effective against lefties, especially when he's running that fastball in on the hands or that little two-seamer in on the hands, and he comes back with that pitch. Very effective.
Mike Matheny batting at .275. Double single in today's game, takes a strike. Well, the Giants have stayed with the left-handers against this Cardinal lineup today, with their starter Kirk Reeder getting hit hard, lasting only 3 innings, and Zerbe and now Christensen in. Matheny takes the pitch inside. Matheny with a big average, 404 against the left-handers on the year. Gary Thor, David Justice, wishing you a very safe and happy 4th of July, and thanks for being with us here for our day game from St. Louis. The Cardinals trying to avoid the 4-game sweep that the Giants are after. Giants have battled back after the Cardinals got the 8 runs on 7 hits in the second inning. A big inning for them, and the Giants have chipped away at it here over the last couple of innings. They've not scored until the 6th. Jose Cruz, his 14th home run, couple of RBIs. Nafi Perez, a big 2 RBI single. JT Snow has had an RBI single in the game. 3 ball, 1 strike count on Matheny. Delgado waiting in the on-deck circle would be pinch hitting for Painter, the pitcher. 3-1 pitch. Chopper. That could be a tough play. Got to get to first in a hurry. Galarraga gets it there and gets the out. Good play on each end of that. Christensen got there in time.
This is really a nice play. Galarraga with the softest hands over there. Gets to it now, but Christensen did a great job of getting his body in position to receive this throw.
1 inning, 1 hit.
Actually tagging it with his left foot. It was a great play on both ends.
2-time Gold Glover at first base, Andres Galarraga. And a fine play as he just came on defensively after his pinch hitting chance in the last half inning. Wilson Delgado will now pinch hit. Tony La Russa may or may not be a little short on that bench today. J.D. Drew has a knee problem that has kept him from starting last night, and whether or not he was going to be available today, La Russa told me before the game he wasn't going to know until Drew came and actually tried it out. He thought Drew was available last night, wanted him as a pinch hitter in a key situation, and found out at the moment he wanted him, he wasn't available.
He's another guy that's a very important piece to this offense that has had a lot of injuries, actually, you know, in his short career. But he is someone very important to this team that, you know, obviously needs to get healthy, if he has any chance of helping the ball club. But they do need a guy with a bat like him, especially in a situation, you know, where even if he can't play every day in outfield, at least a pinch hit.
He's batting .307, 9 home runs, 25 RBIs. Another squibber. Let's try it again. Galarraga. It's like spring training, but he didn't get the bag. The throw was there in time, but Christensen couldn't find the bag. What are the chances of seeing back-to-back plays like that?
And if you look at this, Christensen really isn't going to first base like they teach it in spring training. You see, he's getting there and then trying to touch it with his left foot, when usually pitchers are taught to run up the line and kind of like, if he has time, see, get to the bag and then turn. He's trying to do it all in one swipe and just couldn't get it that time. Did a great job the play before that, but just couldn't get his feet set that time.
They have called that an error on Galarraga, but that's got to be changed. I mean, he did everything right. That throw was right there, and it was there in time. Here is Hart bunting for a base hit with 2 down. Alfonso, beautiful play to get the out. Edgardo Alfonso ends it there. No runs, no hits, an error. Base runner left on. Giants will try and see what they can do again. Nothing like that big box of popcorn, huh? That girl, and don't need a share. She's already got her own bag over there. It's okay. It's all yours. Chow down. Well, interesting ball game here. Cal Eldred, who pitched in the game last night, worked an inning, gave up a hit. 35-year-old right-hander is back on the mound after Painter came on and worked in the 7th inning, a complete inning's worth of work. He gave up a hit, wasn't charged with any of the runs that scored there. Here is Pedro Feliz. And the fastball's up high. Cruz and Aurelia to follow.
And Eldridge is a guy who's primarily been a starter his whole career. He signed with St. Louis and has been asked to go into the bullpen and help out there, and actually was called on to save some games. He has 8 saves, in 11 chances this year.
I think there's a chance if the starters continue to struggle that he might be moved back. Probably not, huh?
I don't think so. I think they're going to go with the guys that they have, especially if he's doing a good job down there in that pen. That's where they may need him the most.
So Eldred getting work out of the bullpen now for the Cardinals, as their starters for the 2nd year in a row have had injury and effectiveness problems. Air working in the bullpen for the Giants. A 1-ball 2-strike count on Feliz leading off the 8th inning, and he goes down chasing high heat. So Eldred gets the strikeout. Take a look at last inning. How about these plays at first?
See, you want to try to get to the bag as soon as you can, then turn. See, Christensen is trying to almost do it all in one swipe, see? Instead of getting there, position yourself, and then turn. Because he has time, but he probably doesn't think he has enough time to get there and actually set up. But he does have a little bit more time than he thinks. He's trying to do it all in one swoop.
Now they changed the ruling as we thought they would. That last play at first base is now a base hit for Delgado. Not an error. Take the error away and put the single in there. So Andres Galarraga appropriately not charged with an error on that play. Jose Cruz 0-1 count, 1 down, 9-5 lead for the Cardinals. Breaking ball inside, and that didn't miss by a whole lot, as the catcher Matheny held on to it for a bit, chatting with Brian Knight, the home plate umpire, about where that was. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside corner that time, gets it. 1-2. Giants up here in the top of the 8th inning. They've got Bonds on the bench. Did not start today's game, so if needed, he is there. 1-2 delivery, swung on and foul back. And they've gotten to within 4 after trailing by 8 in this game, including 8-0 at one point. Here's a 1-2 delivery. Off-speed pitch, swung on and foul tipped. Almost got him on that pitch. Eldred just pulled way back on it. One of the best defensive catchers in the game right there. Matheny gets back down with a sign. Here's a 1-2 delivery. Cruz takes it inside. He is trying desperately to work out a walk or any way to get on base here.
Well, they only have a few more chances, to try to mount some type of comeback.
2 balls, 2 strikes, looking for base runners. Eldred's delivery, and that just missed inside, and he's taken the count full, 3-2. Rich Aurelio's been hitting the ball hard, waiting on deck. Cruz delivered his 14th home run in the 6th inning, a 2 RBI shot. One of the most popular players in Houston when he was there. Jose Sr. looking to have maybe 2 sons playing in the big leagues at the same time. If Enrique, who's playing in college, fulfills the promise there, he may have the opportunity to be one of those dads with 2 TVs in every room of his house.
And just the thrill that it is just for as a father, you know, to have your children playing in the major leagues. You look at the Boone family.
Yeah.
That's the first family that comes to mind. I mean, not only was the grandfather a player, but now you have your dad played 19 years, and then now to see his sons, you know, Aaron and Brett playing in the major leagues. I mean, I can't even imagine the barbecues they have and the stories that they must share.
And Matthew is coming back off rehab. He's the younger son. He's playing in minor A ball. He's got a shot at making it to the major league level as well. There could be 3 Boones playing at the same time, with their dad managing and their grandfather still teaching. And he does. Ray Boone, who's the grandfather, calls his grandchildren who are playing all the time and helps them. And as will happen, they listen to their granddad. I mean, not that they don't listen to their father, because they love and respect Dad, but to have a grandfather who's a great major league player calling you on the phone and saying, you know, that last at-bat I watched last night. Huh?
Just having your father as a manager.
How about that?
I mean, that's just amazing.
Well, Cruz gets it done. He wanted to get on, and he did. And he had a battle to get that walk. You, the fan, can vote on who should win an ESPY, and Barry Bonds is the nominee for the best Major League Baseball player. The polls are open. Log on ESPN.com. The keyword is ESPY to cast your vote, and then watch the ESPYs live on Wednesday, July 16 at 9 Eastern. So Eldred surrenders the walk. There have been only 2 walks picked up by the Giants in this game. Took 11 pitches, and Cruz is on at first. Fastball high, called strike to Aurelia. Aurelia's doubled, single, and grounded out. He had an 0 for 11 coming into the game, but he has hit the ball hard here this afternoon. Batting .259 on the season, and only 1 away in the 8th. And that's going to go to left field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. And the Giants are making it really interesting. 2-1 here in the 8th inning, 1 away. And Tony La Russa back on the telephone to get that bullpen active again.
And you can almost feel the atmosphere changing here in Busch Stadium. It's getting really quiet. It has become very quiet, actually, in the stadium. They almost sense, you know, like something might happen here. And we're not too far from a Bonds sighting.
No, we're not. Bonds over there limbering up. Francisco Santos coming to the plate. Santos is 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts, and is hit into a double play. Potential tying run is now in the on-deck circle for the Giants, and a strike on the outside corner. Batting just .214 on the season. Santos will be followed by Edgardo Alfonso. Down in the bottom part of the order now for the Giants. Cruz on at second base. Rich Aurelia on at first. The 0-1 pitch, change up way out in front.
Santos is a young player, you know, free swinger, and all day today he's chased balls out of the strike zone. Primarily probably pretty good. Usually when guys come to major leagues, they're pretty good fastball hitters. He just needs to learn to adjust and you know, within the strike zone, find his strike zone instead of chasing everything.
0-2 delivery, slow roller fouled off. That is the hardest lesson ball players generally say, moving from the minors to the majors, that ability to be able to make adjustments.
Yep, and learn your strike zone and learn what you can handle and what you can't handle.
At his first major league home run Sunday against Oakland. Oh, wild cut, and the 3rd time he has struck out in the ball game.
And he's pretty much getting himself out, Gary. I mean, basically he's chased a lot of balls in the dirt, a lot of balls out of the strike zone, And I don't care who you are. I mean, if you swing at balls in the dirt and balls over your head, you know, you're not going to be very successful. But he's a young player, and those are things in which, those are areas where he must grow. You know, to learn to take off, you know, take those pitches that are in the dirt, you know, and that's the only way he's going to get strikes, because if teams see the fact that you like to chase a lot of balls in the dirt, you'll see a lot of balls in the dirt.
See a lot of them, yep. They'll stay right there. Here's Edgardo Alfonzo now. Alfonzo 1 for 5 off Eldred lifetime. In this ball game, Edgardo has singled and scored in the last inning. He is 1 for 3. He's had 5 hits in this series, 5 for 11. And the Giants are looking for a big 2-out hit in the 8th inning. Slider misses away and a 2-0 count.
You know, another thing as a young player when you come to the major leagues, this goes for Bohart, it goes for Santos, is you want to show on the major league level the consistency of hitting the ball hard. You want to show that you can handle major league pitching by consistently putting quality at bats after quality at bats and hitting the ball hard. That's what you need to do. That's when you separate yourself from being just a guy who was called up for 15 days because somebody got hurt, to a guy who's a young major league player. A young major league player that you know he's here to stay is a guy who is consistently putting a lot of good at bats together, and you do that by hitting the ball hard.
This is a 3-0 pitch. David, you said we're getting close to a Bonds at bat. How about if Alfonzo ended up walking? The bases loaded and 2 down in the 8th inning.
There would be a Bonds sighting.
Yes, sir. Eldred falling behind on Edgardo Alfonzo. 3-ball, 1-strike count. 2 down. Runners off first and second. And a strike. Alfonzo trying to inch out the walk. 3-2.
And this may be the biggest pitch of the game right now. Because if he gets away or he gets a hit, now you can bring Bonds up, you know, as a tying run. So this is a huge pitch for Eldred.
Keep in mind, Alfonso's second toughest to strike out in the National League. 3-2 delivery. Fouls it back. Amazing how a ball game can turn from one that looked like it's just a rout into waiting for the Giant. And
So Barry's ready.
He's ready.
He's ready. There's nowhere Barry can hide. He can just come on out and just stand by the steps.
We know where you are.
The Rooster knows he's over there. There ain't no secret in St. Louis area code that Barry Bonds is here.
3-2. Delivery again. Alfonzo. Only Juan Pierre of Florida is more difficult to strike out than Edgardo Alfonzo in the National League. Eldred has had a tough inning here. 28 pitches thrown, coming on in the 8th. The 3rd Cardinal pitcher. For the 3rd time, a 3-2 delivery. And Alfonzo takes it to right field. Perez is there and gets it. So Eldred gets an enormous out. No runs, couple of hits, 2 are left on base. Cardinals still lead it by 4. Our day game from St. Louis, and the Cardinals with a 9-5 lead as they'll come up in the bottom half of the 8th inning. All the Cardinal fans on hand. Scott Iyer out of the bullpen now for the Giants. He will be the 4th pitcher of the day for San Francisco. There are the numbers that he has put up on the year. His job here is to just hold it right where it is. He worked no part of an inning in last night's game and gave up 1 hit. 30-year-old left-hander. 4 lefties have been thrown against the Cardinals in this ballgame. Leading it off, Jim Edmonds, batting 2nd in the lineup. And Edmonds takes it inside for a ball. A single and 3 at-bats and a walk today for Edmonds. Giants are going to have 8, 9, and 1 due up in the 9th inning. Edmonds, the strike there and the swing, 1-1. Edmonds is 2 for 2 off this left-hander. One ball, 1 strike delivery. tomahawks that one to second base. Perez makes the play. Edmonds is retired. I want to remind you, coming up here on ESPN2 following our broadcast today, match coverage, Venus Williams, Kim Clijsters. You'll be seeing action from Wimbledon. That's coming up right here on ESPN2 following our ball game. Action from earlier today. Klein in the bullpen is ready for the 9th inning. Pujols stands in and fouls it back. Pujols, home run number 24 as part of that big second inning. 4 RBI day, got another on a sac fly in the 6th. So Albert Pujols has moved into the lead, RBI lead, along as being the league's leading hitter. There's delivery to him, jammed him a bit and fouled it back. Where they had not been producing in the first 3 games of this series, the Cardinal middle hitters are 5 for 10, 2 home runs and 5 RBIs.
Just lets you know how much and how important they are to this ball club, the success of this team. But they're finally getting on track, and like I said earlier, at the right time heading into this series this weekend with Chicago. They need to get these bats generated again.
14 hit attack put out so far here today. An interesting note on Albert Pujols. He's playing in his 401st game. Through the first 400, 329 career RBIs is the most for any major league player in the first 400 since Ted Williams had 349 back 1939 to 1941. So Pujols, most RBIs in his first 400 at bats since Williams, going back to 39 through 41.
He's just an amazing young hitter, and the organization loves him. The manager loves him. All the guys say he's humble, he works hard, he takes the game very seriously, and it just amazes me that he's only 23 years old, because with that work ethic, you got to believe he's only going to get better.
Well, Jocketty mighty happy about that. Vice President GM and Tony La Russa just says you put him out there, you know you're going to get everything he's got every day. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
You know, another great thing about having a guy like Albert Pujols on your team and being a young player is he's setting the standard for every young player that gets called up as well. So the look of your team is going to take on the look of Albert Pujols, and that's what you would love, because you want your whole team to have that type of work ethic.
Do you ever? 1 ball, 2 strike count again. Base is empty here with 1 away. Pujols jammed a bit again. Pops that one up. Behind the mound, second base, Nathan Perez. And Pujols is retired, and there are 2 down. He hates every at-bat where he doesn't get a hit.
And you know, we talk about his work ethic, we talk about his youth so much that we overlook the fact of how intelligent he is. He is very intelligent. He's a guy who does an outstanding job of adjusting from at-bat to at-bat, sometimes within an at-bat. And that's why he's been so successful, because he makes the adjustments that he needs to make so quickly.
Here is Scott Rowland. Pujols played 1 year in the minors before coming up with the Cardinals in 2001. He went all the way through A, AA, AAA in 1 season. He's played 3 AAA games total. Rowland waiting. He too gets jammed, and it's foul back. Left-hander Scott Ayers staying in on the fists on these right-handed hitters, and a 2-strike count to Rowland. Giants are going to get 1 more shot at it. Those are the do-ups, with Bonds, of course, available and waiting. 9-5 Cardinal lead here in the 8th. 0-2 delivery to Rowland. Tailed away and got him. Good job by Scott Ayers. He retires the side in order. So the St. Louis Cardinals with a chance to pick up the W, 3 outs away. Our day game goes to the 9th inning here in St. Louis, where the Cardinals have the lead with David Justice. I'm Gary Thorne. A ball game that looked like it had been put away early, as the Cardinals had a big 8-run, 7-hit second inning with 3 home runs off Kirk Reeder, the starter for the Giants. But it has not worked out that way, as the Giants have battled back to pick up 3 runs in the 6th, a couple more in the 7th inning, and made it a 9-5 game. Coming up, the Wimbledon women's semifinal match. That'll be coming up right after our ball game is concluded. That was action from this afternoon. Venus Williams will be playing, and Kim Clijster's the opponent. There is Steve Klein out of the bullpen here in the 9th inning. Not a safe situation for Klein. Eldred worked an inning, gave up 1 hit, walked 1, struck out 2, and the Giants, off the glove of Hart, have a base hit. So Torrealba does what he needs to do as he leads it off for the 9th inning with a single. He's got a double single and 4 at bats today.
Well, he hit this ball pretty hard, and Hart is showing pretty good range. Although he didn't get to it, he went a long way to even try to make an attempt on that.
Nafi Perez is batting in the number 9 spot, playing second base. He will wait as a visit to the mound declined by Matheny. Bo Hart has had a good series against the Giants and made some sparkling plays, and bunting there on the safety squeeze that would result in an RBI that today, and a double to top it off. Pitch is taken outside. Nafi Perez. Perez up against Klein with a runner on and nobody out. This whole game has become about the guy who hasn't played in it. Topped at the plate, foul. Never got outside the box before it hit him. Bonds did not start today, and everybody knows right where he is. Knows the game is 9-5 here in the 9th. Marquise Grissom is in the on-deck circle to pinch hit. Perez 4 for 12 off Klein in his career. Takes the pitch away. A 2-ball, 1 strike count. Mind the Giants, last time they swept the 4-game series here in St. Louis was 1912. That one punched in the air, second base. Hart going back, battling the sun. Perez is retired, 1 away in the 9th inning. Now Marquise Grissom will be the pinch hitter for Air, the pitcher.
For Air is 1 inning, 1 strikeout.
One out. Marquise Grissom has gone 2 for 12 in the series, batting an even .300 right now. Got the day off from the normal start he would make in center field for the Giants. Cruz out there today. Klein's delivery is a chopper to short. Renteria could be the game. Hart, the relay to first. Cardinals win it 9-5.
Well, this is a great ball game by St. Louis. The offense came alive today. The big 3 in the middle of the lineup really swung the bats well. This is a game that they needed. Definitely going into Chicago this weekend, where they go against this Cubs pitching that everybody knows about. That's pretty tough.
So they avoid that big sweep, come away with the victory here in our day game. 9-5 is the final, and the rule of 8 still applies. If they get 8 or more runs, they'll win 16 straight, in which that has happened for the Cardinals. Coming up next, we've got tennis from Wimbledon. On behalf of David Justice and all of our crew, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks for being with us. Our day game from St. Louis. Happy 4th of July, everybody.